question from a listener recently, Matt. Ben on Twitter asks, "Hi, Jason. Any chance for an industry-focused episode on Silvergate Capital? It's a bank that has a platform for cryptocurrency called the Silvergate Exchange Network, the SEN, with a lot of institutional transactions. Thanks. You and Matt make financial discussion interesting." And I will say he also he concluded that you and Matt make financial discussion interesting with the laugh face, right? With the little tears of laughter. So I mean, maybe that's an LOL. I mean, listen, it was very very thoughtful sentiment, and it sounds like we're at least doing our job well enough. Well enough. So let's keep on doing what we're doing, Matt. But Ben, really, thank you for the question. It's not a company that I've never really dug into Silvergate before. I'd heard of it. I mean, a very small bank, of course, but not too small. I mean, it's just a small cap bank, but an interesting one nonetheless. And in looking a little bit more into the Silvergate Exchange Network, particularly in this age of digital currency, it seems like this is a bank that might become a little bit more relevant as time goes on. What do you think about Silvergate, Matt?
Yeah, so they're not, like you said, they're not a very big bank. They're big enough that we're allowed to talk about them, but not much more than that.
Yeah, and around a $600 million market cap, right? Something like that.
So the Silvergate Exchange Network, which is the most interesting part of the business right now, I was reading that it's a intermediary that kind of it facilitates the transfer of money from one cryptocurrency player to another. That sounded interesting enough, but then I started reading their list of customers, and Coinbase is one of their customers, Gemini is one of their customers. So the use case is that normally if a customer buys Bitcoin in US dollars, because when you buy Bitcoin, you use money.
Right.
The exchange would have to transfer that somewhere, and then it takes a couple of days, then it would get transferred to another exchange to buy crypto or something like that. So what the Silvergate exchange does is it facilitates this kind of 24/7 real-time money transfers between cryptocurrency exchanges and major hedge funds and other digital currency players. There's mining operations that are customers of the bank. So it's an interesting case. They have over $2 billion of cryptocurrency deposits. So most of their deposits are in cryptocurrency, not US dollars, which is an interesting case.
Yeah, and you square that up to Square's balance sheet with 50 million in Bitcoin. Right. I mean, that can give you at least some context there as to how big of a role crypto is playing for a company like this.
Yeah, this wasn't always a crypto bank. They've been around for on their website it says they've been profitable for 21 years. So they've been around for at least that long. They pivoted to crypto. Their CEO's been there since 2008. They pivoted to crypto in 2013, which good timing. They were first to the party. It sounds like
perfect
that's how they were.
Timing, yeah.
I mean, Coinbase, Gemini, those are some of the biggest players in the industry that are their customers that they use for their money transfers. So it's an interesting industry right now. It's worth mentioning that as a bank, there are two sides to the business. There's deposits and lending. So pretty much the exchange network and the crypto deposits, that's the deposit side. On the lending side, they're a mortgage lender. So that's kind of an interesting. It looks most of their assets are either mortgage-backed securities or what are called warehouse mortgages, meaning lines of credit to mortgage brokers. So they're a mortgage lender. So their loan portfolio is actually pretty high quality. Yeah. I saw that their non-performing loan rate is 0.16% right now, which is really low if you look at some of the other banks right now.
That's exceptional.
So
yeah.
It's interesting. That's how they make their money, a combination of income from their lending portfolio, which is mostly mortgages on the commercial nature. So commercial mortgages, and they make fee income from their cryptocurrency activity. An interesting bank. This is not investing in Bank of America or even one of the smaller, more tech-focused banks like we've talked about on the show. This is kind of it's a play on the cryptocurrency industry.
Yeah, yeah.
The more money that flows through cryptocurrency exchanges, the more they're going to make.
And I think you summed it up nicely there. I mean, if you look at the way the stock has performed here year to date, it was more or less tracking the market up towards October, but starting in October, shortly after they had released their quarterly results, the stock just went. I mean, it was, as they like to say, parabolic, man. Just went straight up. In year to date, the stock has returned about 125% versus the market's close to 12 or something. So clearly, Silvergate having a very good year, and I can understand, at least when you're looking through the transcript from the most recent quarter, customers completed over $36 billion in Silvergate Exchange network transfers during the third quarter alone. Now, that exceeded $32 billion that was done all throughout 2019 together. So clearly that Silvergate Exchange network is gaining a lot of traction, and maybe that's the enthusiasm there. I mean, I certainly understand it based on your description of how the company makes its money. I will reiterate, this is a small bank. I mean, a $600 million market cap roundabout. Also worth noting that it has a very low float. I mean, there's a low number of shares outstanding, just under 19 million, it looks like. Half of that essentially is the float on the open market. So my point is, anytime you see a small cap bank like that with a low float, you're typically going to see some hefty bid and ask spreads, right? And you're going to see some pretty volatile movement from time to time. It's all to say, if it's a bank that you're interested in, I mean, this is the kind of bank where I think a limit order probably makes a lot more sense if you're interested in owning it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would tiptoe into this one if you were interested in it.
Yeah.
I prefer it to owning actual Bitcoin as an investment.
Yeah, I was wondering about that actually.
Like, that mortgage side of the business should provide nice, steady income. And then the fee income side of the business is the growth avenue. So, it's like a nice combination of steady, predictable, recurring revenue and growth potential. So, but like I said, I like it better than investing in actual cryptocurrency. But this is, like I said, this is not Bank of America or JP Morgan Chase. So I'd tiptoe in cautiously.